Tampa, Florida, baby. Guys, welcome to my live stream. Today I will be talking about WWE Battleground.
Tonight with Battleground. The entire landscape of NXT changed after Stand and Deliver. And tonight, big things are in store at Battleground. Welcome on in to Countdown to Battleground. I'm Megan Moran. He is Sam Roberts. Sam, what makes tonight in Tampa
I don't know why they don't have
than a normal night in NXT?
Well, you talk about how much NXT has
they just
changed
have it.
Stand and Deliver.
They have
and that's
them.
what tonight is all about. The Battleground is Tampa, Florida, and the battle is for the future of NXT, a brand that is
who's in here? Say hi, chat, because I can't. My comments are fucked up again.
You know, as that future superstar, becoming the superstar of today.
Today, the future and Sam history could be made tonight.
And chat, thank you to Cat.
Let's get you guys caught up on
Cassie for getting me my boxing glove necklace. I really appreciate it.
Megan, how about this one? The match nobody saw coming. Obafemi is defending the NXT Championship against the man who got himself the biggest opportunity he's ever had.
I don't know who's in here, but you have to be an adult to be in here.
Sam, I was talking about history, and this is exactly it, because for the first time ever,
the TNA World Championship is defended in the TNA World.
He defended on a
WWE pay-per-view.
As Joe Hendry takes on Trick Williams.
Kalani Jordan found herself an opportunity Tuesday on NXT. Tonight she looks to gain back what was once hers, but she's going to have to dig deep if she wants to win the Women's North American
It's weird. Look at my chat. Won't move up. He probably kids in here.
This one, Hank and Tank walked out of Stand and Deliver with gold, but tonight they team up with Josh Briggs to take on the Cullen.
Family boils over this personal.
Tony D'Angelo, the gun of NXT, vicious Stacks.
Goes one-on-one with his former underboss, Stacks.
And this one, Sam, is for all of the marbles.
Stephanie Valkyrie versus Jordan Grace.
Division in women's wrestling, but only one woman can stand at the top. The NXT Women's Championship is on the line as Stephanie Valkyrie defends her title against Jordan Grace.
I'd like to introduce myself.
From San Fernando,
Chile.
Chilean badass.
You got a boyfriend now. Date Miles Born. Why the hell did Date Miles Born? And he can't even speak correctly. He has trouble speaking. And that's the guy who looks like he's like deaf.
Estamos con Stephanie Baker, chilena oriunda de San Fernando y campeona de la categoría mundial más importante del
See, I can't see who's in here. What's up, Double J? What, were these all kids in here? No kids. Go play. Thanks, Double J. I'm just watching the pay-per-view.
Have to look no further than what is standing at this desk here today. The current NXT Women's Champion, Stephanie Valkyrie.
I know, kids calling this guy, I hate it. You know, Double J?
To the surprise of absolutely
Hi, Ma. I think.
establishes dominance once again. All eyes are on our champion here in NXT.
Hey, Mom.
Who is my next challenger?
Julia or Jordan Grace?
What?
We're gonna have a number one contenders match.
1 minute.
That's your opponent about.
Well, let me see. I'm not going to give it to him.
I came here tonight and I did exactly what I said I was going to do.
Jordan Grace, face to face with the Dark Angel.
I earned my long overdue singles title match against Stephanie. And Battleground is a very fitting name because that is exactly what it's going to be. Jordan, I hope you're ready for the hell I got to put you through.
Jordan was at the top of TNA, and now she wants to be at the top for NXT. Jordan, she conquered championship, but I conquer continents.
Stephanie and I have one goal in mind, and that's to be at the top of the best women's division in professional wrestling. I think I'm the best. Stephanie thinks she's the best. In Tampa, we'll find out who's right.
To become the best luchador, I went through hell. And I made that hell my home.
At Stand Deliver, she escaped with the NXT Women's Championship once, but at Battleground, there is no escape.
At Battleground, I reassure you, Jordan, when you get close to my hell, you will burn in flame.
The time is now. Grace Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship at Battleground.
No.
It wasn't too long ago that these two women, Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace, were the two of the hottest free agents in all of wrestling. But Sam, tonight, it's not about just making it to NXT, which was a goal of both of these women. It's about holding the title. Stephanie Vaquer has already made history in NXT. She's been a double champion, but Jordan Grace, what does she have to prove?
Jordan Grace has everything to prove. Jordan Grace tonight has the opportunity to live up to the hype. You know, I mean, we spent a year and a half as fans wondering if Jordan Grace was going to get to the WWE, to NXT. What was it going to look like when it wasn't a Royal Rumble appearance, when it wasn't a special one-off, when Jordan Grace was a member of the full-time roster, and everybody would be put on notice. But what happened? Jordan Grace got to a roster that was growing and growing and growing and encountered beasts like Stephanie Vaquer. That is what she has to contend with tonight.
And I talked about earlier, living up to those dreams. Stephanie Vaquer, she said it before, she's always wanted to be at the top of the women's division. Now she's there. How does she hold on to it?
Stephanie Vaquer, when she got to NXT, was one of a few signings. And I don't think that every single set of eyeballs was on her at first. She shifted focus. She made sure that every set of eyeballs was on her. And an athlete like Stephanie Vaquer does not do that just to release those eyeballs. The eyeballs stay on the champion, and tonight, that's what Stephanie Vaquer looks to hold on to. She looks to make sure that all this hype that Jordan Grace had around her coming to NXT stays hype, and she stays champion.
Well, Sam, you talked about athletes, and you can't talk about athletes in NXT without mentioning Sol Ruca. And speaking of free agents, Zarya was one of the free agent signings that was a beast as well. Once an unlikely duo, but now Sol holds the gold, and earlier this week, she sat down with our own Kelly Kincaid.
Zarya, champ Sol Ruca, thank you so much for joining me today.
And give yourself a
diving right in. Last year at Battleground, we saw you compete for the Women's North American Championship for the very first time. Yes.
Sorry about that, Chad. I have to help my mother.
As champion. So how are you feeling?
I am honestly so stoked. Not only am I walking in as the new Women's NXT North American Champion,
kids,
but I'm
get
also
the fuck
walking
out.
in as the WWE Women's Speed Champion. And this is honestly such a full circle moment for me because, I mean, last year I really wanted to win. I thought it was just going to be the perfect opportunity to show the world that I can bounce back from an injury.
Yeah, I don't want kids in here, guys. Get the fuck out.
Hindsight, you know, winning this title at the biggest stage of the year at Stand Deliver with Zarya by my side, it was just so sweet.
I think you gotta put that green cap on and pull it off.
I can't help but look at the two of you and think about that moment, right? The two of you are standing at the very top of the ladder. The Women's North American Championship is dangling above your head, and the two of you are looking at each other, and you know that in that moment, what has to be done has to be done. But here you sit, still best friends. So how does a strong friendship like this come about?
Well, we had a bit of a bumpy start. Yeah, but I mean, look at us now. Who would have thought? Not me, but it works. So we first met at Deadline at the Iron Survivor Challenge. We tried to put each other down. I thought our interactions would stop there because I wasn't here to make friends. I mean, look at me. Do I look like I fit in? You look like you fit in. So, look, I've always had a wall up. until Sol did something that nobody's ever done before. And she stood up for me. And I think it was in that moment that we both had a mutual respect for each other. Yeah, and it didn't just end with the mutual respect. You know, we were together a little bit in the locker room, and I felt like I could see something inside Rosaria that I could bring out. So I begged her to hang out with me. So I took her to the beach. She's very resistant. I feel like I started to crack into her a little bit. But it wasn't until that second time where we did some stuff her way, did some axe throwing, some more aggressive stuff, that I really felt like I cracked the code to Zarya. And yeah, now we're here. And look, people are constantly trying to put a wedge in between us, but we've been through so much already that this is why we are so strong. Yeah, and going back to that moment at San Deliver, before the match even started, we had a conversation, and we said that no matter what happens, everybody's going to be fine. We agreed that this is just the nature of the beast, and that, you know, this is what we signed up for. This is a competition. We're not going to try and cheat our way
Allison
into
could get me the
victory.
bat rack off my Amazon wish list.
Competition, and whatever happens, happens.
The last time
Sorry about that, Chad. I had to help my mother.
Was at Heatwave, and things were much different. That was friendly.
I can't believe it either.
And now the
I just don't like kids, you know. Kids aren't my vibe. No offense to you, DaDDy. I know you have one, but you know me.
Last year, that was our only match we've actually ever had.
Kids don't belong in my fucking lives. I'm a fucking grown-ass man, you know?
And she ended up losing the title in an unconventional way. It was in a gauntlet match, and she couldn't pull through to the end, and I think that really hit her hard, and I think that there's some sort of void that's inside of her that...
Yeah, true. She probably will. DaDDy, should I get off and then go to that? Yeah.